Thank you to the candidates, our live audience, and those viewing from home, which is made possible by our friends from Stress Free Productions. Early voting begins Thursday, October 19th, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th. We hope this forum provides the candidates an opportunity to share their views and positions and a little about themselves with the voters who are going to be making a decision in a very pivotal election for the town of Waynesville. We will be hearing first from 3 candidates who are running for mayor. We'll then take a brief pause and we will be bringing up the candidates that are running for town council. So joining us tonight, the 3 candidates from Waynesville are John Barrett, Gary Caldwell, and Joey Reese. And each one is going to give us some opening remarks, and then we'll move into questions. So we'll start with you, Mr. Barrett.
I'm John Barrett. I'm running for mayor because we need a change in Waynesville. My ideas is not to buy new squad cars, don't buy nothing new. Fix these roads, sidewalks, sewage, water, and the power grid. We need to take responsibility for what we are doing instead of just keep taxing and taxing and taxing. We are taxed to death. It's time to take a different stand in a different direction in Waynesville. Thank you.
Hey, I'm currently Mayor Gary Caldwell, and I would like to start with the citizens of Waynesville and Mountaineer staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I was born and raised here in Waynesville, where my family taught me that through faith and hard work and dedication, I could accomplish anything I set my mind to. Throughout these past 28 years of public service as a public official, the last 4 as your mayor, I have continued to take pride in being part of the many accomplishments that have occurred in our beautiful town, including areas in citizen involvement, environmental preservation, obtaining grants without using tax money, recreational opportunities, and public art, community enhancements, to name a few. I have taken my position as mayor very seriously, as I have represented the voice of the citizens of Waynesville and the town employees. I strongly believe it is vital to keep in touch with the everyday needs and concerns of day-to-day people. Thank you again for y'all coming out tonight.
Okay, Mr. Reese.
All right. Becky, thanks to you and the Mountaineer. We appreciate this. I'm going to take this portion of the program, I guess, to define myself. I'm a Waynesville native, born to Francis and Sue Reese. Dad was a cop. Mom was a cook at East Waynesville Elementary School. Went to Tuscola High School, then on to Western Carolina University, where I met Dale Shelton, my wife now, of 41 years. She's the greatest blessing I've ever had in my life, and I certainly appreciate her. My views, common sense. I use common sense. I am not an ideologue. I'm a center-right conservative. I am a moderate. I'm a Christian. No better or worse than you. Just how I choose to exercise my free will. I have a 36-year law enforcement career from Waynesville PD to the North Carolina Highway Patrol to the United States Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Administration. I'm a proven executive level leader with experience managing and leading in both the public and private sectors. I was a GS-15 level section chief at DEA headquarters, where I ran a worldwide program with an annual budget in excess of $20 million a year. As assistant special agent in charge of the New Orleans Field Division, I oversaw all operations of DEA in Mississippi, including 9 enforcement groups in 3 different cities. In retirement as head of investigations for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, I ran the investigations department for Blue Cross, which at that time was a $9 billion with a B dollar enterprise every year. Then I went to Deputy Director of Appalachia HIDA. That's under the Drug Czar's office. It's a national program, that federal program under the Drug Czar's office. I was responsible for all HIDA operations in the state of Tennessee.
Thank you very much. So what we're going to do with questions is we will take turns answering them first. So, Mr. Caldwell, this will be your turn to answer a question first here.
Okay.
Waynesville is witnessing unprecedented growth and development. What is your philosophy on this issue, and how should the town handle it?
Like the new housing that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are continuously, monitoring, the housing here in Waynesville. And it's just like, it seemed like it has took off the past 3 years or so, but we've been kind of stale in the past, and everybody thinks that it's all just, all this housing is booming, but no, we're still, you could use some affordable housing, and that's pretty much about it.
Thank you so much. Okay, if you need me to repeat the question at any time, just let me know.
I will.
Mr. Reese?
We are following an ideological course in our development. We follow this thing called Smart Growth America. Smart Growth America is actually a climate change initiative. It's under EPA. Look it up, please. Feel free to look it up online. Their three main objectives are, first, number one is climate change. Number two is racial equity. And then they finally get around to something about living, housing. These folks, the premise is to infill, infill, infill. You build up, you don't build out. You build these utopian communities where everybody walks to work, bicycles and walks. So therefore, you cut out the need for automobiles, therefore reducing emissions. We need some common sense in dealing with this. We canvassed the town, 75% of the town, I guess. Every one we talked to, every single solitary one, by far, the topic that they were concerned most about was the unrestricted, crazy growth, especially the high-rise apartments.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barrett, that was Waynesville's witnessing unprecedented growth and development. What is your philosophy on this issue, and how should the town handle it?
Well, growth is good, don't get me wrong or nothing, but we need to have the land to make the growth. If we don't have the land, they'll be building straight up instead of out. We need to get housing down where the homeless people and people that's poor can handle the rent. Not no $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That's outrageous.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This next question will be Mr. Reese's turn to answer first. Crime and homelessness are part of the campaign platform for some candidates. Do you believe this is truly an issue? And if so, what can or should the town council do about it?
Well, it is truly an issue. There are some bright spots, but homelessness and crime consistently came up as the number 2 concern of citizens that we canvassed. The bright spot is this. The crime figures for 2022, they just came out in October. It does show that property crimes are down in Haywood County. Now, there's can be several reasons for that. One of that being, in 2019, a Superior Court judge here named Brad Letts instituted a catch and release program, pretty much get out of jail free program, following the ideological issues and wishes and exactly what Asheville's done. This hasn't worked anywhere. Asheville, San Francisco, Los Angeles. This program put repeat offenders back on the streets. And so the police told me that about 20 people were committing 90% of the crimes in this county, in this city. We lobbied against that. A lot of us talked against that. What I found just appalling was not one single solitary public official ever spoke out about this program. And I realize that a Superior Court judge has a lot of power, but you can't stand idly by and let your city go down the tubes because you're afraid of what a Superior Court judge can do to you. We lobbied against this, and Judge Roy, the Chief District Court Judge, met with us in 2021, a few of us, myself, Peggy Hanna, and he outlined the differences. They've changed the policy, and as a result, the property crimes are down.
Mr. Barrett, do you need me to repeat the question? Okay. Crime and homelessness are part of the campaign platform for some candidates. Do you believe this is an issue? And if so, what could the town council do about it?
Yes, it is an issue that the town council's got to come up with, but we are dealing the homeless into a corner. Instead of making them get out and get a job, we say, oh, you got to look for a job. That's the difference. You got to get a job, and therefore they won't be homeless. Then if they ain't homeless, they will not commit too many crimes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Caldwell.
Yeah. According to the statistics that the Waynesville Police Department had gave out to us here recently, that the crime in all the parts of Waynesville has come down. We still, have some problems, with drugs and stuff in our midst, but they are working very, very hard to take that out of the picture, but I feel like we're doing the best, and we've cleaned up Frog Level. If you can remember in the past how Frog Level used to be with homeless and people hanging out and drinking in front of it. They've all, we cleaned that area up, and I'm proud of my police department of the service that today they are providing for the citizens here in Waynesville.
Thank you very much. Okay, this next question, Mr. Barrett, will be your turn to answer first. This is maybe a little bit of a tough one. Let's go with 90 seconds to answer this question. So being for or against something is easy, but doing something about it is a different story. So share how you would fix or address an issue that is part of your campaign platform. Something in your campaign platform that you're for or against, but what would you do about it if you were mayor?
Well, I was trying to think, my campaign promises, I haven't made no campaign promises. I'm the only candidate that hasn't. So in that case, I am seriously thinking if we have property in Waynesville that's not being used, turn that into like a halfway house or a homeless shelter and make them on the living, either by Hardee's, McDonald's, doing anything and everything.
Thank you very much. Mr. Caldwell.
Yeah. One of the things that and we also put that in the budget, and we are searching for a grant writer. A grant writer will be something that this town has needed in the past for a long time, that there's a lot of grants out there that we're not seeing and able to get that we would be if we had a grant writer. The other thing is the squeeze on the Hazelwood Fire Department up there. We're hoping that we can get some funding, through having a grant writer that would help us build. We already have the property already in Hazelwood up there, and it's already paid for through our American Rescue Funds that we got. But we would love to, build another fire department up there, because the facility we have right now, you couldn't have like a female there, because there's only quarters there for one, say, two people in there, and it's only for male. So we're hoping that, we could change that by having a new fire department in that area. Plus the growth is kind of coming whenever the South Main Street that's coming to here, hopefully in the next few years. And that's another thing that I'm hoping I'm around for, is to help, with that, the new road coming through for the South Main from Waynesville to Walmart.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reese.
Well, it would have to do with the overbuilding and the following ideological views rather than common sense. What I would do, I would reintroduce quasi-judicial approvals for new construction. That would restore the public's right to comment on it. It's nice, a rubber stamp now, the public doesn't comment. I would also try to reduce the density. Change the zoning, we need to reduce the density, and the administrative decisions that you don't agree with should be appealed to the zoning board. We're able to do that, nobody does that, but that's what I would do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, so we are going to move to the next question. I guess, Mr. Caldwell, it's your turn to answer first. Okay. So this one might be a little bit tricky, but is there a decision that's been made by the town over the past 4 years that you agreed with at the time, but in hindsight would have done differently?
Honestly, I can't say that I could think of anything right off, because we have probably one of the best boards. I've been here 28 years, and we have one of the best town boards I have ever worked with since I've been here in 28 years. I can't think of anything that we would have done different that we have already made progress in.
Great, thank you so much. Mr. Reese.
I initially agreed with the decision to form a homelessness task force back in 2019, and I would differ a little bit with the mayor that they cleaned up Frog Level. I think I might have been the ringleader in that and got that movement started, actually. I thought it was a good idea at first to have a homelessness task force, and I was asked to be on it and was nominated to it. The very first meeting, we had goals and objectives. None of the goals and objectives addressed the damage that the homelessness, the crime, did to the citizens and did to the town. So I made a motion. I said, look, can't we have one goal or objective that addresses and tries to mitigate the damage that this does to the citizens? And they refused to do that. And so I changed my mind after that and left, because when you looked at it, there were 21 people or so on it. 17 were from the sector of the nonprofits and people. And we had 3 or 4 people, maybe, that were would have been in our corner. So I left it. I realized that it was a foregone conclusion, and it was, because at the very end, it fell apart after a year and a half with nothing done.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barrett.
Well, the thing that I would change, if I could, is all these regulations on the landowners, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Repeal most of them, let them do what they want to do on their own land. And ease some of the taxes, because I know we need that too, but thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I think we have time to sneak in one last question before we do our closing remarks. Could you, let's see, whose turn is it? Joey, yours? Okay. So could you share some examples of something that you have done to make Waynesville a better place to live, work, or play?
Well, yeah, I'll be more than happy to. I do think I led the fight for Frog Level. You can ask people that have businesses down there, and don't shake your head, Mayor.
No, you didn't.
Really?
Don't start your mouth on me, buddy.
We can
You
disagree.
understand?
Wow.
Don't be picking on me. All right, go ahead.
So share examples of things you've done to make Waynesville a better place to live, work, or play.
The efforts that I put in Frog Level with the business owners like Jan and those folks down there to make it a better place, to clean it up because it needed cleaning up. And I was the one that started that.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Barrett?
Well, I hadn't done nothing in Waynesville. Of course, I'm a good citizen, so I'm not a politician yet.
Gotcha. Okay, so Gary, something that you've done or several somethings you've done that has made Waynesville a better place to live, work, or play.
What I what I did, and it took a while to accomplish that, was the skate park for our kids down there. I have kids still yet today coming and thanking, for pursuing that, because we built them a state-of-the-art skate park down there for the kids, and I think that helps keep the kids off the street, maybe away from drugs and things and that sort. That was partly of some stuff that we've done there. But, I've been involved with building a new fire station. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff back in my 28 years that I could say that I was a part of, and, but I am proud of, what I have done.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to each take a moment to go through our closing statements. So I guess we'll start with you first, Mr. Reese, on your closing statements.
Okay. In my opening, I was not meaning to tout my own horn or to brag, but my experience shows a few things. One, I have the ability to administer multi-million-dollar budgets, ability to lead people, to interact with media, political figures, and solve problems. I will govern with common sense, not influenced or driven by any ideology. Waynesville needs a lot less Asheville and a little more Mayberry in it. Also, I would like to point out in my closing that we've got 3 police officers in here, and I think that would be considered an assault, what you just witnessed a few minutes ago. So we'll discuss that later.
Okay. Mr. Barrett, your closing statement, please.
I am not a politician. I am an honest citizen. And I think that everybody needs to stop and think what is the best for Waynesville. Which way should we go? Should we stay on the road, or should we veer off to the right or to the left? It's your decision, and my door, if I'm elected, will always be open for anybody that wants to come in and say, oh, these people ain't doing this, or these people ain't doing that. I will listen to you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Caldwell.
Okay. Waynesville is forever my earthly home. My experience in public office brings to the table wisdom of knowledge of Waynesville's history. A public official needs knowledge of government and its processes. I have been challenged and tested and seen it through. I lead with integrity, truth, love of my town and its citizens. I am the most qualified candidate for mayor, and I want to continue to influence the future of Waynesville. With that being said, I ask the people of Waynesville to re-elect me as your mayor, remembering I am the man you know and the leader you can trust. Thank you, and God bless Waynesville.